Good morning, everybody, on this beautiful Friday in Ohio. Good morning to whoever you are. And it's another Cute for Team session, Champions Using Teams Effectively, with your hosts, Ricardo and Stacy, here to answer your questions and otherwise just geek out about teams. So glad you're here. I don't know, just based on who I see in the meet, I might be the only one with snow right now. Everybody else is probably, high 60s. I see you in Tallahassee, Florida. Nice. Just rub that in my face.
We don't have the sunshine though, so we've got that in common. We're overcast in Tallahassee.
All right. It's all good. All right. Well, we got a few folks here, and I see already a question in the chat about the polls button. The polls button on the taskbar works great when it appears, but it doesn't always appear. How does it work? Organizer and attendees, chat or meetings. Can you set up a poll in the calendar before the start of the chat? Walk through the new polls button. Also, can you use forms to do a poll in Teams live events? Okay. Well, first off, I'll maybe start from the back of that. I mean, there isn't a forms or poll button in live events per se, but typically in the past, that has how I've seen customers do polls in live events is with forms, create the form with the question or poll, and then just pop the link to that form in the chat. And then people can start to, answer and the results come in. So nothing native, but, that's how I've seen people use that in the past. So that's the back end of that question. And then let me fire up my demo environment here. We'll see what we can do about the rest of that.
Yeah, I was just looking in mine for the polls button in the taskbar. So I was a little confused about what that is referring to specifically. Are we talking about in chat or in meetings? Because in most cases, in the government cloud anyway, when you're referring to polls, you're actually looking at forms as the solution for that. So, Glenn, if you can clarify for us.
We have always used MS Forms, but recently, this past week, we got a new polls button on the taskbar. And when you click on the polls button, it walks you through the whole poll sequence without having to go to MS Forms. You can all do it within Teams. And it's when the polls button appears, it works great, perfect, just so easy and fast, but the button doesn't always appear. So I'm wondering, does it only appear for the organizer? Does it only appear in a meeting but not a chat, or the reverse? So yesterday I was an attendee in a meeting and nobody had the polls button, and I'm wondering what's going on with that.
And one thing I'm wondering, I'm trying to pull up a commercial tenant because
I don't know if it'll let me paste a screen capture, but I will try and paste a screen capture of what I had.
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna share my screen if you don't mind, Ricardo, because I think I've got the discovery done here. So I'm in Teams with my typical user here. Is this the polls you're referring to, Glenn?
No.
When it's up at the top?
No,
okay.
On the black screen while the meeting or chat is actually on, up on the taskbar where you can click on chat or participants or raise your hand or breakout rooms, there was another button that was, you have it there. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So here's the key to making that show up. As the organizer, if before the meeting, I go and try to add the Forms app, because I'm going to want to do a poll of some type, then when people join the meeting, that will be available to me here. So let me show you what I mean. Let me close out of this. I'm gonna go ahead and leave. I'm gonna go back to calendar. So for this generic meeting, up until 2 minutes ago, I had not done anything with forms or poll. Okay, it was just a typical meeting. In fact, I'm going to create a brand new one just so we can show what that looks like. And let's see, I'm going to invite a few of my favorite meeting folks so that it's live. And then I'm going to click send. And at this point, there's not going to be any poll integration or forms integration, because as the organizer, I haven't told this Teams meeting that I want that to be a part of my meeting. You can see across the top here, I've just got the typical ones that we see. But if as the organizer, I decide I want a poll aspect and I want to integrate some sort of survey or question, if I click the plus and choose forms, then that polls tab becomes enabled and available to me as the organizer to tinker with. Like, for instance, I didn't click it just then, but I'll go ahead and join this meeting. And you'll see across the top that Forms app is not available. See, it's not there. Okay. If I leave and as the organizer decide, you know what, I do need to initiate some sort of poll in this meeting. So before the meeting, I'm going to add this option. Then it's available here. And once I join, it will then be available as a menu item here.
Oh, now is that only a polls button only available to the organizer, or once the person organizer who created the meeting in calendar activates that forms, then will anyone in the meeting have that button and be able to create a poll?
That's an excellent question. I think we better test it. Let me see if I can launch Johanna here.
Or I can give you my credential.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do that because I don't have her set up very well here. I'm going to just add you in.
Yeah, now I'm trying to get my, okay, I'll put it in the chat for you.
Okay.
See.
Doesn't want to find you outside of my. Did I get that right? Go 646-79 Microsoft.com.
Or maybe
Let's not
use the send an email link.
Yeah, let me do that. On its way.
Cool.
While you're working on getting here, I'm going to create a quick poll. I'm not even going to add Friday, Saturday, and Sunday because that would be everybody's choice. Did you find us yet, Ricardo?
No.
Still working on getting to you.
So what appeared in the chat right there is only the organizer can see that. Is that correct?
Correct, because I have yet to launch it.
Okay.
Yeah. I could even still edit it at this point or just give up and delete it if I decided I didn't want to launch it at all.
Okay.
This is actually, the organizer view. When I click on that, I see polls here.
Still no invite on my side.
Okay, here,
Hope I didn't
let's,
fat finger or something here.
no, let me just get the info.
Yeah, if you throw that link in the chat, link to your meeting, I could grab it.
Okay. Meeting info. There it is. Goodness, it would have bit me.
Got it. Control C. See here. Coming in.
Awesome. Welcome in.
Thank you. And I do see I'll go ahead and share my screen for a sec.
Perfect.
And go here. So I came in. I do see a poll button there.
Great.
I do see create new. So I seem to have same kind of abilities here.
Yep, but he doesn't see the one I created because I didn't launch it. He will also have the launch option for his.
Okay.
His just showed up live for me. So I'll go ahead and answer it.
Yeah.
Yep, you've got my response showing up there.
Yep.
Now for you, I'll launch mine.
Okay. And there it is. Oops. I love Mondays.
I love Tuesdays. I'm more productive on Tuesday.
So the pop-up that appears in the center of the screen is what all users get after the poll is launched.
Correct.
So yeah, that seems to work as we would expect, right?
Yep. And if you'll open up your chat, Ricardo, they can see that not only does it show up in the view screen, but also in chat for availability. Yeah. So there and in the meeting window. And updates as people respond.
It's nice to have that dedicated tab there. You come back to a meeting to see the polls that happen and look at their results, all that good stuff, even export. It's nice.
Yeah, I agree.
Good stuff.
So as a presenter in the meeting, since our Teams meetings are configured where we all land in presenter mode, unless it's been tweaked by your tenant, I believe. I wonder if before the meeting, any of my invitees to the meeting could add that forums poll, or does that have to be done by the organizer? I think I'm torn. My memory is failing me.
Yeah.
I think before the meeting, it would have to be the organizer adding it to start.
That's what I'm thinking. Most of those pre-meeting controls, I feel like they're organizer specific.
Yeah, yeah.
Could we try it and see what happens, please?
Of course. What do you think? You want me to do another one where I invite you and?
Yeah, go ahead and share your screen, do your thing. Since the demo gods are being great to us right now, and it's pretty good to be able to jump back and forth between the two experiences.
Yeah, it's all over now since you said that.
I know. So as soon as it came out my mouth.
Okay. Then I'll also go ahead and paste that since it seemed to take a little bit to push through to you last time. We'll just save that waiting. And I have not added that app. So let's see what happens when you try.
So in this case, I'm waiting for an email, right?
Oh, I pasted that in the click here to join the meeting link in the chat.
Oh, okay. Okay, got it.
So hopefully you can grab it there.
Yep.
Sorry.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and share my side. So I am joining this.
Well, before you join,
Okay.
see if you can. Oh, I guess you have to join, don't you? Okay,
Right.
Go ahead. Since we don't want to wait the 3 or 4 minutes for it to show up on your Teams calendar.
For whatever reason, yeah, I mean,
you would get the invite.
Never got to me.
Hmm.
Let's try that again. So they're definitely not treating me like an organizer here.
I'll go ahead and join and admit you.
Maybe trying to one of your other profiles might be the way to go.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm external anyway. I wonder if that matters.
Well, you were certainly able to interact with everything that once the organizer had added it, even as an external participant, you were able to fully engage with that Forms app, which is really good to know. And I would imagine helpful in a lot of government use cases. Now let's see. I wonder.
Let's go to the other here. So it's my chat area, and there. But don't see. Yeah, I'm not seeing any. Oops.
Okay, so you have no way to kick one off, right? Because I didn't already enable it for the meeting.
Yeah, and again, though, because I'm definitely getting the external experience here with my limited chat capability. So another test would still be a person in your org.
Okay, let me see if I can
experience.
Grab Johanna from the browser and see what her experience is.
And I think we've talked about this just as another side note. I think we've talked about this here in this group about if you're looking down here at the chat, because I'm an external participant in this meeting, and I'll go back to the meeting window here. Now, actually, this is kind of making me a liar. Well, sort of. So I've got limited stuff here. I don't have everything that a normal person would. When I come here, I'm getting like only, the ability to chat or change its importance, but none of those other things here. as an external participant. I am surprised though to see emojis and whatnot there in this case. It may be because I'm a another org that has Teams licensed versus a anonymous user that might.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I
I mean,
definitely
you're
don't have.
authenticated.
Yeah, I don't have file upload though. That's the big one.
Mhm.
Yeah, but yeah, as another authenticated Teams user, I'm at least getting these things. So.
Right. Now I'll show you the internal non-organizer access here. I'm logged in the browser as Johanna, who's in my same government tenant. And Johanna also does not have that polls by default because I didn't, as the organizer, turn it on for the meeting. But because she's internal and at least a presenter, she could, before the meeting, go and add the poll. So if I'm the organizer, but I want to delegate someone else in my team to go and create some polls for the meeting, they can absolutely do that just from being invited to the meeting. And then once we join, because Johanna added it, then it would be available to all of us again,
So,
anyone who's in attendance.
Do polls work in chat as well, or only in a meeting?
They are available in chat. Let's go over and I'll start a chat for, let's see, I'm still logged in as Johanna. Let me chat over to my other account so we can log in together there. But in the chat between us, across the bottom, there are lots of options. And in the 3 dots, I can see all the rest of the options available to me. Forms is available. I can trigger that. And send the question. And then it's going to pop up into our chat here. And if I switch my context, now I'm logged in as mod administrator and I have a brand new chat from Johanna. I can go and see the poll and answer it. That's available in group chat as well.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. And that's actually been there for a little while. So it seems like your team's meetings got some great enhancements recently, Glenn. I don't know if the breakout rooms and the assignment finally landing opened up some of these other options, but I'm glad to see they're there for you.
Yeah, thank you. We just got both new breakout rooms options and the poll button, yeah, all at the same time last week. So thank
Cool.
you. Oh, okay. I really appreciate your help. I guess Lori has a question there.
Yeah, Lori, I see in the chat you got a question about removal of private channels.
Right. Derek, are you on?
Yeah, I'm here.
You want to take it away?
So a customer came to me and asked if they're deleting private channels, and there seems to be a cap of 30 private channels that you could have, and this includes deleted channels. He wanted to know if there was a way on the back end if we could expedite the deletion of the archive channels, because I think it's, Lori, didn't you say that they had like a 30-day
There's
policy
a 30-day window, and
where
this
you
way
could-
they could restore it.
Yeah, where you could resurrect it in case you're like, oh shoot, I deleted the wrong one. I actually need that one. But they want to know if there's a way to delete it faster. Now, why they want to do this, no clue. It doesn't really that I don't know why they need 30 private channels all at once, but okay. Or more, technically more than 30, really, but.
And just so you know, my testing, I created 30 private channels and then deleted several from the Teams admin center, and then try to create more but it said I hit my limit. And I'm pretty sure that's because private channels also have a SharePoint site associated with them. So they'd probably need to be deleted on the SharePoint admin center as well.
Yeah, all the
And
artifacts.
we're not SharePoint administrators, we're Teams administrators. So we'd have to get another group involved.
So that's an interesting use case. I mean, so I think you're right. The amount of artifacts that are generated and having all of them delete cleanly to free you up for another channel, I can imagine that taking some time. So the question would be, is there a way to force the immediate deletion of all of these artifacts? You know, and just my first thought is, if it is, it's probably PowerShell. You know.
Yep, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
There may be a way to do it via PowerShell, but there won't be anything in the UI that would make that recycle bin dump sooner.
Right, for sure. Not through the end user UI. Yeah.
They're better off with a new team and then 30 new private channels.
That's what I would think, especially as an end user. If you're not trying to put in a request to the tenant admins to do their thing, yeah, definitely a new team and go from there. Yeah, because even, you know, both me and Stacy are old school SharePoint folks, and even in the SharePoint days, you know, once something's created and you think it's gone, it lingered, and you know, would keep you from making a new column, or about, you know, all these kind of things. So this does not surprise me that there's some lingering stuff here keeping you from getting over that, or continuing with that 30 channel cap. So I don't know if there is PowerShell. I'm not saying that there is, but if there is, I don't know, you know, what it would be. We'd have to kind of search the docs for that. But I would think that would be the way that gets done, as a tenant admin effort.
Right. Okay. So yeah, in other words, there's no easy way to delete it, if at all. And I'm also worried that even if there is a way that it can be deleted, you know, via some kind of PowerShell command, what kind of unforeseen problems would this cause?
Right. So that would, you know, if it's not native, right, then, you know, you got to wonder, what's the script that gives you a very clean deletion of all the artifacts? You might say, okay, let me use PowerShell to delete this site, and, you know, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm worried about unforeseen, you know, circumstances. I mean, who is going to be creating like 30 channels at once and be like, oh, actually I need more, so I better start deleting some of these? It's like, you know, it's like, be responsible with the number of private channels you create.
And then even if, you know, well, I guess if you could find a way to delete it cleanly, but, you know, the other thing I think about too is these 30 channels, every time they're created, this new repository of files, and when it comes time for any kind of e-discovery or anything like that, there's a lot of places to, you know, make sure you've got as part of your discovery process.
Yeah.
So yeah, just keep that in mind too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. I got to drop for another meeting, but Derek, you have everything you need?
Yeah, and I got the invite to the, like, Kimberly sent me something, but I think the acronym, it's, you know, lines up the cute.
Yes.
So,
alrighty, everybody. Have a great day.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lori. Y'all have a great day.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on. Bye.
Yep, and to everyone else, we're at time, so glad you could make it. We'll be here again next week, and this recording will be on the YouTube channel. So stay warm and stay safe.
Thanks, Ricardo. Have a good one.
Too.